but he is one of those players that you feel like he's going to be an iconic player.
MJ, Braun, and Wemby. Those are the three names that are going to come up in the GOAT
The way we play this summer, and coming to
Victor Wembanyama is making legends running out of words. Hall of Famers who have seen every player, every body type, every skill set in basketball history, and they still can't explain him. They're not hyping him up for the cameras. This is real. They're saying flat out there's no comparison, no past player fits. That alone tells you everything you need to know. He's 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan, and he moves nothing like his size. One second he's pulling up from 3 like a guard. Next second he's backing someone down in the post like a seasoned big. Then he's swatting shots from behind without even trying hard. Defenders think they've got a step on him, and just like that, the ball is gone. It looks completely unfair. And the scariest part? He's only 21, still growing, still getting better. The greatest players alive are already saying straight up, there's no solution. That's not hype anymore, that's a warning. Go under the screen, he knocks it down from deep without blinking. Fight over the top, he blows past you with those long strides. Send a double team, he's already read it and fired the pass before the trap arrives. Then the other end comes and he's erasing shots at the rim like they never happened. There is no clean scheme to stop this. That's exactly why every legend keeps landing on the same word: unbeatable.
One of those players that you feel like he's going to be an iconic player. If you watch him, he's highly skilled. He probably needs to be, more schooled in playing in the NBA. He can run, he can shoot three-point shots. I think his best skill is going to be blocking shots early in his career. But for people who haven't seen him play, he's pretty spectacular. He was so polished and so poised. And that's what the NBA needs, another voice to replace the ones who have been here for years. So to me, it's just like, from one generation to the next, and he's going to create a new player, also new fans.
Jerry West has been studying talent at the highest level for almost 70 years. His silhouette is literally the NBA logo. He watched Wilt Chamberlain dominate with pure power. He saw Bill Russell win with defense and leadership. He watched Kareem, Magic, Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron each redefined what greatness looked like. He has seen every era, every type of superstar the game has ever produced. So when he looks at a 21-year-old French kid and calls him iconic, highly skilled, and pretty spectacular without hesitating, that's not small talk. That's coming from decades of watching the best basketball has ever had. And Wes isn't just talking about flashy plays. He's pointing at something bigger: long-term impact, legacy, the kind of player who changes the game and brings in a whole new generation of fans. When a man who has truly seen everything the league has to offer looks at you and says that, you better pay attention. That's not a compliment, that's a signal.
Game, right? He is, every time you turn into a Spurs game, you're going to see something new. So last night it was the 360 layup, right? He will do one thing when you leave that arena or watching that game going, I got to see more. He's got great form. And I think just looking at him, it looks like he's put on not a lot of weight, but he looks like he's a little bit more, more comfortable in his skin. He put on like maybe 10 pounds or something, but he's much more comfortable out there on the floor. And for them to be undefeated at this point, I know it's early. It's only a week into the season. Look, they're not winning the championship, but I like how they are playing as a young...
Reggie Miller isn't even talking about the stats. He's talking about the feeling. He's saying every single Spurs game, you are guaranteed to see something you have never seen before. Something that sticks in your head on the drive home. Something that makes you come back the next night because you don't want to miss what's next. And the growth is visible. You can see it without looking at a single number. Victor looks stronger, more comfortable absorbing contact, smoother moving across the court. And he added some size without losing any of that fluidity that makes him special. Then Reggie drops the line that really hits. He says Wemby should have been Defensive Player of the Year. The only thing that stopped him was that he didn't play enough games. Think about that. One of the greatest shooters in NBA history is telling you that by year 2, this kid was already the best defender in the whole league. That's not a small take. That's enormous.
Because if this man stays healthy, right, he's going to be arguably the best defensive player we've ever seen. You can't tell me, because he has none. Offensively, he has the complete package. The Jamal Crawford handles, we saw that in the highlight. The pull-up threes, we're watching him knock that down on a consistent basis. He's excellent moving without the basketball for his cutting, being a live threat at the basket. On top of that, he's starting to go and capitalize in the low post area, mid post area. You could use him as a screener. It's nothing that he can't do. This man has arrived, and he has the mentality of a killer. He wants to win.
Kendrick Perkins doesn't ease in. He goes straight to the top. This is a guy who battled Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan, Dwight Howard, and Ben Wallace every single night. He knows what elite defense actually feels like because he lived it possession by possession against the best bigs in history. So when he talks about Wemby's impact, it's not from a distance, it's from real experience. And then he makes the boldest claim of all. He says if Wemby stays healthy, he could be the greatest defensive player to ever play the game. No hesitation, just a straight, flat-out claim. Then he throws down the challenge. Find a flaw in his game at 21. Go ahead, he'll wait. And then he starts listing everything. Handles, pull-up threes, cutting, rim protection, post-game, mid-post moves, screening, spacing. It's all already there. Not one or two skills carrying him. Every single area of the game already built to a high level. Then he closes it out with, this man has arrived, and he's got a killer mentality. At 21, most guys are still a work in progress. Perkins is saying this one already looks finished. That puts the entire league on notice.
We've never seen Wemby. We've never seen no shit like Wemby. Wemby could lead every category there is, and statistically, that's MVP. Wemby might average 24. What did he average last year? What Wemby average last year?
I think he was floating around like 24 a game. I think almost 4 blocks a game, like
It
3
was
and a half.
almost 4 blocks.
If
Them
Wemby
blocks.
averaged 25, 15, he could average 5 blocks.
He could put up
average
Jokic
12
numbers.
assists.
He could put up
He
Jokic
can
numbers.
average 6 steals. Like, he can do all of this. These are video game numbers. How
I
can this team gonna make the playoffs?
Carmelo Anthony scored over 28,000 points in this league. He's watched every kind of score, every style, every way a player can take over a game offensively. So when he says we've never seen anything like Wemby, that's not a hype line. That's recognition from someone who truly understands how rare real originality is in the sport. He even says it twice. We've never seen Wemby. We've never seen nobody like him. The repetition is telling you he's not stretching for a comparison because none exist. Then Melo starts rattling off numbers that sound crazy at first. 25 points, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, 12 assists, 6 steals, and calls it video game numbers. But the wild part is it doesn't feel impossible when you watch him play. No player in league history has ever been a real threat to dominate all 5 major stat categories in a single night. That's exactly where Victor stands apart. It's not one skill, it's every skill at the same time.
Kevin Garnett doesn't throw out big comparisons just to fill space, so when he tries to explain Wemby, he reaches for the biggest one he knows. He compares his arrival to LeBron James entering the league, that once-in-a-generation moment where the whole basketball world stops and realizes something is completely different now. That rare moment where the hype meets reality, and the reality is somehow even bigger. He's talking about a player with no real blueprint, no past version to point at, no neat box to put him in. Something you watch and the only honest reaction is, we've never seen this before. Garnett brings up LeBron for a reason. Before LeBron showed up, the league had no reference point for what he became. Once he arrived, everything had to adjust. That same kind of shift is starting to form around Wemby right now. And Garnett isn't guessing from the outside. He actually competed against LeBron. He felt that level up close. So when he puts Wemby in that same rare space, a player the game doesn't have a category for yet, that's not hype. That's his real honest read.
Nobody on this list feels this more personally than Tony Parker. 4 championships, finals MVP, the heartbeat of the Spurs dynasty for over a decade. He watched that team fall apart, went through the rebuild, and understood exactly how rare it is to find a real franchise cornerstone. So when Victor showed up, Parker didn't get loud or emotional about it. He stayed calm and surgical. He said simply, in 2 years, he's going to be the best player in the NBA. Not one of the best, the best. No extra noise around it, just confidence from someone who's lived at that level. And then he lines up the history. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, Victor Wembanyama, 3 different eras, 3 generational big men. Parker played alongside 2 of those legends and saw that standard up close every single day. And now he's placing Wemby right into that same line without blinking. Parker isn't just saying Victor is good, he's saying he rises above all of it.
Jamal Crawford brings a totally different angle. 20 seasons in the league, one of the smoothest ball handlers to ever play, someone who has watched every style and every trend come and go in this sport. And he shuts down the idea that this is something we've already seen before. He starts naming Nikola Jokic and Domantas Sabonis, skilled bigs who can pass, shoot, and operate with real intelligence, players who already push the limits of what a big man can do. But his whole point is that even those names don't fully capture what Wemby brings, because this isn't just about skill overlap, it's about the complete package showing up in a way the league has ever dealt with before. Skilled bigs have existed, that part isn't new. But then Crawford gets to the real difference. Wemby does all of that on offense and then flips the switch and shuts things down at an elite level on defense too. That's where every other skilled big in history had a crack somewhere, a mobility issue, a defensive weakness, something you could target with the right game plan. With Wemby, that opening doesn't exist. He's wrecking both ends at the same time. Crawford puts it plain and simple, we have not seen this combo before. Coming from a 20-year veteran, that lands hard.